Welcome back. We're back again. It seems like it's been forever. This is episode 344 of the Weekly InSalt. My name is Wade. I'm here with Ches.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
And I'm here with the Godfather of Sound.
We've used that one
Damn
before.
it. All right, let's try again. We're here with the Furry of Sound.
Furry. All right.
I'm just kidding. We're here with Curt. He's the sound guy. Pretty good at it.
I get into those people that wear the dog masks.
The people, the reference is that I guess we can start there.
Yeah.
But do you guys know the Pearl? We talk about the Pearl all the time. They're a venue, so, a venue is going to book whatever. And I know that everybody's quick to judge everything. In fact, people who knew we were going to work security at this event last night were giving us shit about what type of event it was. But let's just break down the hard facts, which if you look at it from business, even though this was like a punk / furry / like 18 plus rave thing, it's sold out. Like, it was at occupancy. We had to turn people away because it was that busy. So I'm just saying, I don't know if you're out there thinking your electronic band's going to hit it big, you're selling 20 tickets. I mean, maybe just turn into a furry rave band. If you're trying to sell tickets, just sell out. But that's the reference to the Furry of Sound, is that it was really interesting though. Like, the crowd there, man, super nice. Like, I think they felt like they were a community that was already pretty exiled from what people would consider normal. A lot of trans people there, a lot of, gay people there.
Were there Asians with cat ears?
There were tons of cat ears and Asians with cat ears. Yeah.
Man,
there were.
You should have called me.
That'd have been weird, dude. Call, hey, man, I know you're like 46, but you want to come to this 18 plus rave?
Yes.
I mean,
it's 18 plus. That's all that matters.
That is true. They are all technically legal. Not saying that that's like anything that. That'd just be weird, man.
It'd just be weird if I did anything. I'll just creep in the corner.
You just sit up in the VIP area, dude, and just watch over the crowd. That actually would have been helpful because there was. So the main thing that you're looking for there's no alcohol, right? The venue isn't serving alcohol, so anybody drinking alcohol, instantly you're like, no, you can't do that because this is alcohol free. If you want to drink alcohol, you should have went to a different party. And then the other thing is like vaping inside. But because they're already like I think so far outside of what people consider like normal. Number one, it's rave. I mean, rave's been going on for years, but man, that scene was just never something I went to like one and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, you guys do this all the time? This is so far outside of like what would be fun for me. Not judging you guys, but just that's not my style. But I think they were so far outside of everybody else's comfort zone that they were a really tight-knit community. Like, when the show got over, there was trash everywhere, and before everybody left, they picked it all up. It was the weirdest thing. Like, wow. We were getting ready to push, because usually when the show's over, you've got a couple hundred people there. People want to sit and talk. They want to bullshit or figure out where they're going next, the after party. But everybody just like picked up and came up to us, was like, thanks so much for keeping us safe tonight. There's a lot of weird people out there.
There's a lot of weird people in here.
I'm like, there's a lot of weird people, but they were all chatty. There's always a couple of people. But my favorite thing that all of the people from Midvale listening will laugh so hard at is the only person I busted trying to sneak in was homeless Craig.
No shit.
Yeah. I was kind of just doing security by the back.
He would have got in and jacked off.
He actually looks a lot better. He's got his ID now and he's got a job. And
oh, yeah, that's right.
So he's not. I think he still earned the moniker Homeless Craig just because he's like the Batman of Midvale. Like, when he went to jail, dude, the crime level spiked in downtown Midvale for sure.
You mean dropped?
No, they spiked because he was keeping all the rest of them in line.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now. Okay.
He's the homeless Batman of Midvale. And he can also make the mountains move if he pokes his belly button. That's what he told me. I swear I saw him move once, but I don't know.
What did he give you before he poked his belly button?
Nothing. He gave me one Nike and one Adidas shoe and said for $50 is what he wanted to sell them for. Like, you're selling two different shoes, dude. Why would I buy one of those?
Or are they both right side shoes or right-footed too?
They could have been both right feet. I don't know. I didn't take enough time to look at it.
Different sizes?
Like one's kid shoe.
Yeah.
But I was by the back door right there. They've got a green room back there, backstage area, and that's where most of the people try to sneak in, so it's easy. You just stand there and watch. They all supposed to have wristbands. But I saw this, like, these eyeballs, like, peek through the crack. Some guy's like, I need to go film a video thing real quick outside. Do you mind if I prop this open? I'm like, I'll keep an eye on it. But then I see these eyes just like, And I'm like, what was that? You know, it was like suspicious right away to me. And then I just saw, again, like somebody's just trying to look in real quick. And I go out there and I open the door, and Craig like does 4 steps back, like, whoa. And I'm like, oh, hey, what up, Craig? And he's all, holy shit, what are you doing here? And I'm like, running security for the rave tonight, man. And he's like, dang, well, I guess I'm not getting in then. I'm like, now you're not getting in.
I would have scrutinized. Like, you want to come in? No.
Yeah. I was like, you don't want to be in there anyway. But that was my favorite, and I had to run up and tell Taylor, you know, the manager of the Pearl. I'm like, so have any incidents tonight? I was like, yeah, busted Craig out back. But he was nice, you know. There wasn't any incidents other than that. People were super nice. It was just music went right up until 2 a.m. And you know what? Some of those kids danced until 2 a.m. I was impressed. Like, the smell in there was not great around 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, my God, I bet not.
It was all right, you know.
That's what meth will do to you.
There wasn't a lot of meth going around there. I don't think 18-year-olds are really into that.
Well, the shit they're on's got meth in it.
Yeah, but I don't know where 18-year-olds get it from, but we did try to keep an eye out for that, and if they were selling drugs, they're very discreet about it. We'll put it that way. We didn't catch anybody. We definitely caught some people that were very good at pre-gaming, people who showed up already tossed, you know, completely geeked.
Geeked out of their
They're
mind.
geeked out. And there was one dude that we had to kind of help over to the water, because at one point it got so hot in there. You know, 300 people in a venue. We had the front doors and the back door open, but even with the wind last night, there's only so much air you could move through that building.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And we were just looking for people basically getting heat stroke at that point. There's only one guy. I'm like, go get some water, man. You look like you're about to pass out. He's like, feel like I'm about to pass out. I'm like, you probably need to drink water. Drink a ton of water. But nothing crazy. I mean, the event organizer came up and told us that they had Narcan up at the front and Narcan backstage if we needed it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, good to know. I don't know what everybody's going to be taking tonight. But it was fun, you know. It kind of felt like I was a babysitter for 300 people, but I mean, I am 40 now, so I guess technically I was. But you never know. The cops drove by there so much. I saw like probably 20 cops.
Oh, really?
Standing out front. Every time they drove by, they'd wave, hey, what's up? And it's kind of like you had that unspoken camaraderie of, I'm here so you don't have to be, type of thing. But you know I'm here, so if you get a call, you know what you're dealing with, you know, type of thing.
So were you wearing a shirt that said security?
I was, yeah. And that was also a fun social experiment. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, so I was a little bit nervous. I didn't know what to expect. Great first time doing it because there wasn't anybody that was a dick.
Yeah.
Other shows will not be like that, so maybe I'll just bring one of those giant Maglite deer killers, so you just whap somebody over the head or something. Like, or I just need your incapacitating like 12,000 lumen flashlight you take camping.
Oh yeah,
that'll just blind anybody.
Get people's attention.
Yeah.
I think my vision's just now coming back from accidentally getting flashed in the eyes with that thing on our camping trip.
Oh yeah, that thing's like so bright, but it's nice. I noticed that you had asked Curt what the brand of it was.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that means you'll have one at Fish Lake.
Maybe. If you can get
You're trying to find a
them.
brighter one, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, he hesitated long enough. He's trying to find a brighter one.
I did see that Costco now, it's a less lumen, the same brand. A 2-pack for 30.
Yeah, I saw that too.
$35, yeah.
Yeah, probably because the kids were like going blind.
Yeah.
They had to dial it back a little bit. You know it's a powerful flashlight when if you put it on something that heats it up too quickly, it turns itself off because it doesn't want you burning your house down. That's a great flashlight, man. Can't argue it. But yeah, maybe next time, Curt, we'll bring you along. You can be security too.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of fun.
I've done event security before.
It's not bad. I mean, some of the events there can get bad. But that was one thing I wrote down on my list to talk about today is that I realized last night that venue is really sentimental to me because when I played in bands years ago, like my emo band and my metal band, playing drums for them, I played in that venue when it was the circuit, you know, and we were the bands there backstage that had to deal with the straight edgers and like, dude, we got ambushed in the alleyway, you know, just like by straight edge kids. We don't believe in drinking alcohol or doing drugs, but we love to fight people. You know, it's like, what?
Yeah.
What are you fighting us for? Well, you're an emo band. We don't like that. Okay. Cool. Can I just load my shit up and go home then?
Like, well, what if we're straight edge but emo?
You're not. We would know you. But it was kind of like a weird, like, full circle thing where now the younger generation is getting to express the art that they're into, and then I kind of get to help make sure it's like okay for them to do that, you know? Because there were some people that walked by just on the street, or people driving by that looked over and they were like, you know, yelling shit or like just slurs and stuff. And it's like, I think it's just having a body there that has a shirt that says security on it. And probably my beard helps a little bit with the intimidation, but I think it just deters people enough to be like, it ain't worth it. You know what I mean? And I didn't know that Taylor and his girlfriend, they just work a lot of those venues with, you know, it's a small venue, so they're trying to save money and stuff. They needed the help for sure. When it's 300 people, it can get crazy. But that was kind of a cool experience, you know?
Yeah.
We'll have to, I mean, if you guys, we'll just do the full plug then, you know? If you guys want to go check out what's going on at the Pearl, go to the Pearl on Main.com, right? I better double check
so.
that. Yes, it is. thepearlonmain.com. They have told me lately that they are to the point now where, unfortunately, they have to turn events away because they have a pretty booked schedule. But
well, that's a double-edged sword.
yeah, it is. It is.
It's like, unfortunately, but we got to turn you away because
we're busy.
We're booked.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
but you can look up on there right now the poster from yesterday, and it gives you, Curt, I mean, if you pull up the Pearl on Main and put it on the TV up here, it'll exactly explain what kind of environment it was last night.
Give me a minute.
You're good.
All right.
But, you know, I think that expressing yourself in art these days is getting really niche and getting really cliquey. I think it always has been, maybe, but like, oh, it didn't show it on yours. Maybe I have it cached. Oh, no. Let me double check. Oh, yeah. I must have it cached. No, yep. I have it cached. Oh, well. But
is there can you see previous events?
I don't think so. I mean, I would turn my laptop around, but knowing me, if I did that, I'd like break all the sound equipment.
So click on that Madison. Was that the Madison that we had on the podcast?
Where?
That first event on July 5th.
Oh.
Madison and TDC presents.
I've never heard of them.
No, I don't know. I mean,
let's hear. Scroll down.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, flag drag performances, kink. Yes, it is. 100% that's got to be.
Oh, this is next month.
Yeah, we had Madison on our show.
Madison Can.
Yeah, it's got to be because kink education, queer history, a full ass show. Like, come on.
The sex therapist.
The sex therapist clown.
Yes.
Yeah, it has to be. We continue to ingrain our podcast into the valley. I'll just put it that way. But yeah, I think that if you're lucky, you can probably still go way back and find that episode that we had her on. But you'd probably have to do that on our website, theweeklyInsalt.com.
Yeah, if this is coming again on the 5th, sign me up for the security. I'll go.
Yeah, if he needs it. I think mainly it comes down to ticket sales, right? The more people there, the more help he needs. But I mean, we talked a lot about certain things last night that need to be ordered for bigger shows, and like obviously the better you can communicate as a security team at an event like that, the better, more efficient you'll be.
Did you guys have radios?
No, he has them on order, but I tried to find mine, and I can only find one with the earpiece.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And for an event like that, you got to have the earpiece because it's so loud, right?
Oh,
you have to block out the other. And I had my earplugs in the whole night, but I bought special kind of earplugs that for like playing music and stuff that let in a little bit of sound still. So you still can hear everything basically, but it's not like completely just silent, which is nice for being in a venue like that because you can hear, you know, noises that make you suspicious.
Yeah.
Put it that way. But yeah, man, it was cool to do that. Like we should as a podcast look at some of these events and see if we want to go to one or something. They're starting to get some pretty big stuff. So with that being said, if you do want to go to some things at the Pearl, buy your tickets early. Because last night there was people walking up all night that were like, hey, we don't have tickets, and sorry, we're at capacity. We can't sell any more tickets. And of course, there's a lot of people that get there at like 1:30 in the morning like, hey, how can we get in? Nope. No reentry after midnight.
Like, what if it's not a reentry? What if it's a new entry?
We're at capacity.
Yeah.
At that point, after like midnight, there's no point to be letting new people in.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, nope. We'll start winding it down.
I'm doing a lot of this burlesque stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
there's one here.
I'm telling you, this is like
here.
what.
There's one there. There's one there.
This is what's popular these days, dude. I'm telling you. Like, what's that place that used to be the hookah bar over by Fashion Place Mall? What's it? Proper? No.
Provisions?
Shoot. It's like a speakeasy style. Let me look it up. Is it Provision? No.
It's a lounge, some kind of lounge.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times, but
Purgatory.
they would do. It sounds familiar. They would do.
I'm pretty sure it starts with a P.
It does. They would do burlesque shows there all the time, and that stuff would always. That's the stuff that surprises me. Like, I am not necessarily going to go out of my way to go to a burlesque show. I don't have a reason necessarily.
Have you ever been?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Do I want to go out of my way to go to those all the time? Not necessarily. They're not weird. They don't bother me. It's just I'd rather go to like a concert.
Well, there's I guess there's different types of burlesque shows too.
That's true.
So.
That's true. Let me see if I can find it still.
You've got like the drag burlesque, and then you've got just original burlesque.
Sure. And I respect all forms of art. I don't have anything against it. It's just not my cup of tea, I'm not sure. I'm sure. Are you going out there seeking out burlesque shows all the time,
No.
Shez? Is that like something that we haven't talked about yet on
No,
there?
I did go to one.
I think you got to go to one, right?
It was actually really cool. It was at a special party in Vegas that we got invited to, and they had a burlesque show before the band Camp Freddy played. It was really kind of cool. I mean,
yeah,
small. I mean, it was maybe like we were saying, like that 300 to 500 crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, open bar.
Prohibition.
That's
the name of the place that did the burlesque show.
So,
but yeah, they've got. That was the other thing about last night is it was like LGBTQ type of like a very safe space for that, but like the amount of people that came out, and I get the reason why it became such a big deal to have like the Pride Days and stuff like that, because that's a huge community, and they easily sold that place out with people still coming the rest of the night. And it was something that, they were curious about me because I'm sure that, they see security a lot older than most of them there.
Yeah.
They'd walk up and be like, have you ever heard anything like this? And I'm like, nope, never have. What do you think about it? I was like, I don't judge. And if you want a measure of success according to the business, you sold the venue out. So as far as I'm concerned, whether I like this music or not, you guys are killing it.
Yeah.
Right? And did I like any of the music? Not really. It was like weird mix between video game hardcore rave like techno music and then like meme music almost. But these were young kids, 20 early 20s that were DJs that were playing to 300 people that that's like crazy to me. And they've never even written their own music. They're just doing DJ stuff.
Yeah, like what you were just talking about, like if you're selling it out, it really doesn't matter.
No, the venue doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, it's like just on that line. I just heard a thing with the Red Hot Chili Peppers back in the day, before they released their single of Under the Bridge. So like they were trying to figure out what it was gonna like their next single was gonna be.
Yeah.
And so like the music exec came to like one of their shows, and like they're like, okay, this is probably gonna be it. So they wanted to kill it, and the lead singer, fucked up at the very beginning of the song.
Oh shit!
Just totally missed his cue. He said, but like the entire crowd,
just picked it up,
was instantly singing the song, and he was just mortified and just
oh crap,
whatever. Like because he knew the execs were there, and it was like execs like
that was awesome.
It's like that doesn't matter. Like you fucked it up, but when every single person in this crowd starts singing the song, like that's your next single.
Yeah. They were definitely talking about albums and stuff like that. You're that age, you got those big dreams.
Yeah,
and that's like that. And to be like the main promoter came up and talked to us, and I'm not sure. Maybe I should just say they, because we live in that day and age now. But they told us that they were just a group of friends, and they decided to start putting this on. And where they were doing it, this is how different it is. Where they originally started doing it was just underneath the viaduct downtown, like an underground thing. They just go set it up and then hope they'd have to shut it down when the cops would show up. And now, places like the Pearl are a smaller venue than those venues you get downtown. Like, you couldn't afford to do this at the complex. You're not selling enough, tickets. There's going to be a bigger show probably you're competing against. Apparently there were a lot of raves last night, which after about like 1 a.m, that's where everybody started like, can we get in? Can we get in? It's like, no, we're not letting people in at 1 a.m. But so they at least had a building to go to that was a safe place, rather than being out in like somewhere downtown under a bridge. That's crazy. But getting there, furry costumes all dirty. I don't know. I think that everybody should be able to have a place like that. You shouldn't feel like you're shunned, And it was a cool experience. But there are other things that do get shunned, like Airbnb, man.
Oh yeah,
shitty segue.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about this, not much. I heard there were protests in Europe over tourists.
Yeah, and this happened a while ago. But the thing that it really kind of made me think was, you created a business called Airbnb. Like, think of it from their perspective. You create this business, Airbnb. You're doing great, man. It's worldwide business now. You've got people like Ryan Trahan on YouTube that's wildly popular doing 50 states in 50 days or something in the United States right now for charity, but he's staying at Airbnbs, like the most iconic Airbnbs around the United States.
Oh, really?
I've watched a few of those. It's been pretty cool, but then you start breaking out into these other countries that aren't like the United States, right? Like, France is kind of similar, so you'd still consider that like a Western country, but they start getting upset because they're tight on housing, or the government doesn't have enough housing for the people. But then you've got Airbnb and the people who want to create Airbnbs creating these businesses that are just building hundreds of thousands of houses for tourists just to stay in, when their own people can't even find houses to live in. So I think that's kind of the basis of it.
I think that's happened worldwide.
Oh yeah, it's just less in the U.S., right? Because
I wouldn't even know if I'd say that.
I remember when Laura was trying to sell her house, she got contacted by a bunch of corporate or businesses that want to do corporate housing. She got contacted by just people who are buying it up to making it be. What's BlackRock? What's that? No, seriously.
Oh, you're not familiar with
No.
No, they're one of, like, BlackRock is one of, like, the groups that, like, buying all the houses and doing all that type of stuff. So
I wonder if it was them. I don't know, but
probably one of their subsidiaries. They're huge, and there's a lot of shady shit that goes on with them.
Well, and the hard thing with that is that when a residential house or a residency is owned by a company that they're using to either Airbnb or to like corporate housing or whatever. The problem with that is when they go to sell it, they don't treat it like a normal house. You know what I mean? They're still a corporation trying to sell it and make their money too.
Yeah.
Which kind of screws up the market for everybody else. Because I'm not a corporation. I don't just have willy-nilly money I can just throw at a bunch of houses, It's just, I'm buying one house or two houses maybe in my lifetime. But it's interesting that it's gotten to the point now where people are protesting it. There've been talks about tourist fees at places for, like, I think the Louvre, is that how you say it? Louvre?
The Louvre, yeah.
Yeah, I think it shut down because I'm not sure if they were trying to charge a tourist fee or if the country was just trying to charge tourist fees for, like, these Airbnb companies or subsidiaries. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't read the article, but I did see that.
I actually couldn't find much about it because there's just so much other shit going on in the world that I think it just got buried quick.
Yeah, let's see if I can find that again here.
How many times have you guys stayed at an Airbnb?
I don't think I have.
You've never stayed at an Airbnb. Have you stayed?
Yeah, once or twice.
What's your overall general opinion about Airbnbs?
I think it's standard advertising. Like you would see advertising for a hamburger on TV.
Yeah,
it looks all nice and delicious until you actually get it.
Yeah, and then the wrapper's like it's smushed a little bit. It doesn't look the same as the picture.
Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. I rented an Airbnb in Colorado to go to a baseball game out there, and it looked nice on the ad, so we booked it. We get there, and it's like the people that were there, they just, there's somebody staying today, so we need to go.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So,
because there were some Airbnbs have people that live there.
Yeah. So
which is weird.
they left, and we came in, and we're just like living amongst their things.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I don't think that's what the case was here, but it seemed like it.
Yeah, I had a similar experience in Montana when I went on a road trip up there. We got an Airbnb in Bozeman, and it's all kind of like farmland up there on the outskirts of Bozeman. And we pulled up to this place. It almost felt wrong because it seemed like a private driveway, but we pulled up and they came out and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's in the garage," and it was a guest house that built on top of a garage.
Yeah.
But you had to like walk in kind of through the garage, and then they had rules like take your shoes off, and then above the garage there was one bedroom with like a living room and a bathroom. And then downstairs, if you walked down through the garage and then into another door, there was a game room where they just threw a bed in there. So that was the bed that I got. And it was just weird sleeping in this giant empty game room in a garage kind of. But it just feels, I don't know, there's something about a hotel that I just like more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it just feels more comfortable almost.
I mean, there's some nice Airbnbs out there.
Sure.
There really is. Like, but
I think I
don't know.
More do a Vrbo than a Airbnb.
I would expect them to have about the same customer experience, wouldn't you think?
Well,
You think
no,
that
the Verbos, there's like the owner's not ever going to be there.
Oh, so they
it's
have
like,
separate rules?
Yeah, it's like Verbos, from my understanding, is it's like it cannot be their main residence. Like it can be like their vacation house that they rent out when they don't. You know, like, oh, well, we can use it 3 weeks a year. Other than that, we rent it out.
Okay. So it's almost like I want to compare it to a timeshare, but it's not, because you're not paying like to stay in one spot, you know, but it's like they have rules similar to that where you can't just be there all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. The Airbnb I rented in Colorado, the thing that irritated me the most about that place was the dining room table was just a standard dining room table, but the chairs were bar height.
Yeah. Okay. So you're sitting with your thighs up against the bottom of the table?
Yeah, and you're like, this is bullshit.
I've seen some weird stuff like that in Airbnb too. I haven't stayed in
Maybe
a
there's
long.
little people that live there.
No. 100% no.
Okay. I was trying to come up with
Maybe they were just hiding in the closet when y'all left. They went to their normal. That's fucked up. So I just was looking up here on the differences between Airbnb and VRBO, because I'm genuinely curious. It seems like Airbnb appeals to like a broad range of solo travelers or couples, you know, and then VRBO appeals to like vacationers and families. So like you need a bigger space type of thing.
Yeah.
So imagine VRBO is probably a little more expensive.
Yes.
Because you're booking a larger place to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd do it like VRBO if I was going to rent a whole house and, you know,
with a bunch of people.
Yeah. Everybody has a bedroom.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be complaining about sleeping on a couch.
Which, yeah, I mean, like when we went to Boise not that long ago, when we got there, we all split the Airbnb equally, right? But I don't just snore. I chainsaw down redwood trees all night. And, I mean, Curt can attest to that. You can attest to that. Yeah. It's, and depending on, you know, if I have a couple drinks, it probably gets worse. But
I think we all burp, fart, and snore in our sleep.
Yeah. And so because of things like that, the other people that are maybe couples, there as a couples, or don't snore, the people who do get relegated to the shittiest room, which is what happened. And I was like, that's kind of weird because I paid just as much as you guys. You know? And so I was like, well, if I'm going to sleep in this child's bunk bed for the next 2 days, I can just go across the street and get a hotel every night for $50. And I just have my own room.
Yeah.
You know? So why am I paying you $125 for the whole trip when I can just go pay $100 and have my own room?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it seems like in those bigger Airbnbs, you're always screwing somebody over.
Yeah, somebody gets screwed.
Yeah. Like you said, they sleep on the couch or something. And some people are okay with that, but I don't know. We want to get what you pay for, really.
Exactly.
And I could see if you're there with your family, totally different conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Like if,
you banish the kids to the horrible bedrooms.
Yeah, it's kids' rooms anyways or whatever. You know, you put the kids on the couch. They don't care. They want to stay up late anyway. At least you've got your quiet room. And then you're also just in one location as a family. especially if you have a larger family. I could see that being good. But, I think that it's interesting now when it first comes out, it becomes so popular, and now people have a problem with it eating up all the houses and all the cool places. And I think a lot of places that used to be somebody's cool house they built, they just move out and Airbnb it because you just make more money doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when the Olympics come here again, what is it, 2034? I'm seriously already thinking about, like, maybe I could just rent my house for the whole Olympics and make, because I think what happened last time, people were making like $30,000-$40,000 over the course of the Olympics just by not living in their house and letting somebody rent it for the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like, dang, dude.
Yeah.
Easy.
I mean, it's only 2 weeks, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
You can rent your whole house for like $5,000-$10,000.
Yeah. Like for
probably a day.
Per day.
Everybody's coming in.
No
It's so
way.
busy. Especially like right here in the valley, because you're not, I mean, in Park City, you could probably charge way more for that, right?
Okay, you might be able to get maybe $2,000 per day.
Yeah, I don't think that's unreasonable at all.
I don't either, and I might do it.
Because think about it, if you did,
Go fuck off to my mom's house for
I'll go live in
Yeah.
St. George for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I work from
I'll take
home
my
anyway.
trailer and go somewhere.
There you go. Live in your trailer.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. It's the Winter Olympics.
Fuck, you go somewhere warm.
Oh yeah, you just go south. I guess you're in your trailer.
Yeah.
I didn't think. So if it's like $2,000 a day, we'll say, and I imagine that weekends you could charge more
Yeah.
for those weekends, but we'll just say $2,000 a day. I mean, you're looking at $28,000 in 2 weeks.
That's nice.
Just throw that all in your mortgage, dude,
Yeah.
or throw it on whatever debt you need
You're
to pay.
supposed to pay taxes on that, though.
Yeah, we
But
sort
still.
that out later with Uncle Sam.
But still, okay, you pay half of that in taxes, and
Yeah, and I wonder if it would be half. Probably close.
they probably do it all as capital gains.
Yeah, you're probably right, unless you registered some sort of business. But I mean, you're paying taxes either way.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. I think, unless you guys got any good segues off of that.
I know. Not off of that. Let's take a little break and
Are you
come
trying
back
to tell me I
fresh.
suck? Just kidding. All right, we'll be right back
Right.
after this break. And we're back. The Weekly InSalt, episode 344, with Curt, Wade, and Chess.
Yep.
Yeah. Camping.
Greatest thing in the world.
We went camping 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago we were camping.
And man, it was awesome. First camp trip of the season. It was still a little, to use the word that everybody hates, moist up there. There's still some snow, and it was super green. It was almost still like early spring at like 10,000 feet.
Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, last year on one of my camping trips, we had a snowball fight on the 4th of July.
Yes, that we were in that type of elevation. But man, it just solidified again that if you live in an area where you can get out to the wilderness like that, you should make it a point to do it. I know it's not always easy, but as soon as I get up there, every time, I think I said it's to you guys, right when, or at least to Curt, because we went up the day before you.
Yeah.
And right when we got there, I'm like, man, we should do this more often. We should do this more often. It's so nice to get out of the city. Curt, you have a lifespan on camping, though, which is understandable. I think everybody does. Mine's like probably a week, and then I'm like, okay, I'd like to go home. But I think you're at about like 4 days. 3
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
We'll get you up there.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, we went for 5 days in Yellowstone, and it wasn't too bad. But that was because we had like full days every day,
Yeah.
I think. If I was just sitting up there.
Until I got sunblock in my eyes. My God.
You're never going to forget that, are
That's
you?
why you just don't wear sunblock.
No.
Yeah, we tried that on the first day.
Sunblock causes cancer.
So does the sun.
So does
Exactly. So you're damned either way. So what difference does it make?
Yeah. I don't know. The one thing I think I do like is not sleeping with a sunburn. That's one of the worst experiences ever. Really bad sunburn.
I really
Yeah.
don't sunburn, so I might turn red for a day or two,
No
but
wonder you've got a vendetta against sunblocks. You don't
Yeah.
need it.
exactly.
I usually get like a decent burn one time, and then the rest of the summer I'm good, unless I'm out in the sun like all day.
Yeah.
Curt, I can't imagine if you went out without a hat for like a whole day.
Oh, it's rough.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine like the top of my head being sunburned. I don't even know if I'd
Oh,
go
it's
crazy.
fucking awful.
It is.
I did that when I was in high school.
Oh
I
yeah.
went and did a mountain bike race down in Zion, And right before I went, I shaved my head.
That's why I don't do a whole lot of swimming.
And
yeah, I don't blame you.
Forgot a bandana to wear underneath my helmet. And so
you got the little helmet sunburn?
So I got the helmet sunburned. It's like where all the air vents were like just those strips were. I came back to high school.
I wish I had a picture of that.
I came back and I caught shit from one of my teachers. Sure. Because I had the two head cheerleaders. One of them sat next to me. The other one sat behind me. And here I am, At
first I thought he said a two-headed cheerleader. Yeah. Is that what you thought? I had the two-headed cheerleader that sat behind me. I'm like, what kind of school were you going to?
I went to the... the fuck's that movie with the three-breasted alien?
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Yeah. You went to the school of Total Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, what was your guys' favorite part about being up at Strawberry?
Being out of the city.
Okay, but what was your favorite thing about being up there? Or favorite moment?
I don't know. I enjoyed going around trying to find the springs that we could never really find any of them.
Yeah, we took video of that I'll briefly mention may or may not be available on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's not now. By the time this episode comes out, I'm going to try to put it up there. So maybe it is now. I don't know. Go to YouTube and look up the Weekly InSalt. I think that's the channel name.
I think so.
We never plug it. So
yeah.
And then all of our episodes are up on YouTube as well. There's no video, but we're working on that, okay? Get off my back. It's a lot of work it is a crazy amount of work to do this, dude. Now I know why. If you look at most of the other podcasts around the Salt Lake Valley, they start strong and then they slowly degrade to like once a month.
Yeah.
It's hard, man, but luckily we do a lot like go up to Strawberry. I think my favorite thing at Strawberry is always just driving around and seeing the wildlife. I can't believe for the first time ever we finally saw a brown bear up there, dude.
Yeah, that was
cool.
Black bear.
It was a brown bear.
It was brown.
It was
black bear. You're right. Black.
There are only black bears in Utah.
You're right.
Oh,
you're right.
So it may have been brown in color.
It was brown.
But it's
it was a brown
bear.
colored black bear. But yes, it was a little guy. He got spooked and ran away, as bears do, unless you're in other parts of the country, which I don't recommend hanging around bears.
But I heard they do like to be kicked in the nuts.
Yeah, everybody,
especially grizzly bears.
Oh yeah. I think if you come across a grizzly bear and it's hungry, any animal where they tell you like the suggested way to defend yourself against the animal is to pretend that you're dead, you're probably already dead.
But that's not the case with a black bear.
What are you supposed to do?
Black bear, you fight back.
Yeah, you beat the shit out of that thing.
You start punching in the face, just like put them up, like old school 1930s, like put them here, see?
Yeah, I just saw a thing on the news. They're talking about that. Yeah, if you see a black bear and it attacks you, like fight back.
Yeah, if probably.
What do they say?
Outmatched.
If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. If it's white, good night.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're someplace where you're getting attacked by a grizzly bear, not a grizzly bear,
a polar bear,
yeah, you're in the fucking wrong place to begin with.
Yeah, everybody knows that dude that got ate by bears, but he was also in the wrong place, in the right place at the wrong time.
Yeah, those were grizzly bears, but
those were grizzly bears. But we saw some elk too.
I saw one deer.
You saw one deer.
Oh, and an eagle that was getting attacked by crows.
Oh, that's kind of sick. I don't remember that.
I was on our way out.
Oh, cool.
So,
well, they were fighting each other. That happens in nature. We saw badger up there one time. That was cool, crossing the road. You remember that? I'm like, man, that would be cool to get out and see, except the badgers suck.
Was it a honey badger?
I don't think, no.
Honey badger don't care.
Honey badger don't care. I haven't heard a reference to that. Man, you're aging yourself with that reference. Drinking out of cups, being a bitch. But I think one of my favorite things is just driving around, seeing the wildlife, and then like the views you can get from up there. Because it gives you, when we go to the lookout areas, it gives you a real sense of like, you're really out there. When you're kind of not, there's some cabins out there and stuff as things slowly encroach on our wilderness in the state of Utah. But there are definitely things that you don't want to have happen at the camping spot that we're at that could be troublesome for your life expectancy.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you get accidentally shot out there, shooting your guns or something, you're going to be in deep shit.
Yeah.
You're going to have to better hope you know how to install a tourniquet.
Yep.
Or, you get bit by a rattlesnake. That probably wouldn't be that much fun, but you probably wouldn't die. You could probably get out and get to a hospital in time.
Yeah.
You're definitely at least, what would you say, an hour and a half away from anywhere that can get you medical aid? Maybe you could get some first aid at like the ranger station or something out by the lake, but
Yeah, get over to the Strawberry Bay Marina.
Yeah, and then maybe they could send a helicopter or something.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be cheap.
No.
Just leave me out there, man. I'm paying that bill.
Yeah. Just let me die.
That, and I think the one thing that's always great about earlier spring camping is that you avoid the bugs. There were bugs, but not nearly as bad as we've been in before. And then at night, it was just dead silent, man.
It was.
That was weird. You could definitely hear all the coyotes.
Yes.
Those were, man, they make weird noises at night.
Especially once they get on a kill or something. Yeah.
And then, you know, in our typical fashion, we've got another one coming up. I'll try to get that video uploaded. It's silly. We're in the midst right now of testing all of our ideas for video, and I just want to release something. This video, it has no plot. It's just, hey, we're getting in Chez's Jeep. We're going to go find these springs that we found on Onyx off-road. And you can watch the video and see how that went.
Yeah.
But we're just messing around with the equipment that we have now and slowly delving our way into video content, which is a whole different ball of wax than what we're currently doing right now. We've been doing this for like 7 years, so this is like almost easy now. It's not super easy to come up with content, as is always the problem with content creation, but video is a whole nother level. You've got a lot more shit to deal with.
Yeah, and we're trying to figure something out for our next big camping trip to do some video on.
Yeah, we've got, I might write out a plan for that or something. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Like a rough outline.
We're going to go to Fish Lake area.
Yes.
And that place has got a lot of history, man. I didn't realize that. You've got Pando down there.
Yeah. One of the...
Yeah, you say it.
The largest single living organism in the world.
Yep.
So it's just, and for those of you who don't know, it's a grove of quaking aspens that are it's all one genetically...
Yeah, it's just one organism.
One organism, but it's thousands and thousands of trees.
And it's protected.
That have sprung up. But yeah, it's all genetically identical to every single one. So. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic when you get down there, which I think would be a problem for a video. But I mean, there's some history and there's some things. There's reasons why that's important.
Yeah,
they're cool to talk about, but you just have to wait for the video to come out. But yeah, go to our YouTube channel and laugh at us cheating on finding springs. It's funny.
Yeah.
At Fish Lake, we actually, this is the crazy thing, is I think that we do, I don't know how many, I'd be interested to know if anybody listening does this, but we've been to Fish Lake before, we've camped there before, we've driven around there before, but we have lately been doing this thing where we'll go scout. We go out there the weekend before, a couple weeks before, just get familiar with the area. Because I think that it's a great thing to do because up at Strawberry, things are getting so crowded that you got to find those places, man, that people don't know about or people don't want to go. Last time when Curt and I went up there, we found 3 new roads that I had never been down. I think that you could tell were roads and that people maybe just forgot about over the winter one year, or they're just shitty camping spots. Most of them turned out to just be shitty camping spots, which is probably why they're not used. But they're there, you know. I think in Fish Lake, there's going to be a million of those things. There's so much area up there, you know?
Yeah, I know some great areas to camp, but there's so much more area that's unexplored.
So much.
And that'll be one thing, we can go down there and just go explore again, find other places for next time.
Yeah, totally. Fish Lake, interesting. Fish Lake is the largest natural mountain lake in Utah.
Yeah, I think it's also the deepest.
Doesn't say anything about that, but this is just my intern telling me.
Oh, okay.
Intern GPT giving me this advice. I just looked up some history real quick, but it's giving me super, super high level. Oh, the Pando tree. There it is. Home to Pando, a clonal colony of quaking aspens considered to be the largest and oldest living organism on Earth. Estimated to be over 80,000 years old. Pando is genetically one tree connected by a single underground root system covering over 100 acres.
Yeah, that's...
Do you want a fun fact?
Of course.
All right. Intern GPT says Fish Lake has long been a trophy lake trout fishery. In fact, some lake trout have been recorded at over 40 pounds, drawing anglers from around the world.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that. I would say they have pulled out a lot of record fish out of Fish Lake.
Because it's so deep.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's a fun. That's a really fun place to go, and a totally different type of camping than like up by Strawberry. You know, you've got totally different, almost a different biome. Some of it's very similar, but it's a little more dense up there, I'd say.
yeah,
You know, so
I mean,
less scattered.
when you get about 2,500 feet higher in elevation.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think this place we're going to camp is just about 11,000 feet.
Yeah, and the only time I've ever really felt any effects of hypoxia are being up at Fish Lake camping. And that was because I just slept in the wrong orientation.
Yeah.
Like, put my head back in a cubby hole, and I'm like, I can't really breathe.
Yeah, that was...
Which, you know, and that's a weird thing about... Another thing about Utah that's funny to talk about is when you have friends from out of the state come from, like, California or Florida or somewhere close to sea level, basically, and then you're like, oh, you want to go check out the mountains? You go up to, like, 10,000 feet. And they're like, oh, you got a headache. You know, you got to be careful.
Yeah, that's why
hypoxia is a thing.
That's why they tell those people not to... fly and ski the same day.
Yeah, that's
you know, if
true.
they're flying in from sea level, they're like, yeah, don't ski that first day.
Yeah, because you want your body to naturally adapt to the elevation you're staying at, and then if you're skiing, you're going to the top. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you fly into Salt Lake and you're at 4,200 feet, and then
Yeah.
you go up another 4,000 feet, and
Yeah, but be careful about that if you ever come here.
yeah,
I know I'm used to elevation. But you know what else happens when you're camping? I think the reason I can only go 7 days is because I get stinky, dude.
yeah, exactly. That's one thing when you get home from. We saw this, but when you get home, you could take a shower with Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
I don't know if you saw this, but
I think everybody wants to take a shower with her.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
but Dr. Squatch put out a limited run of soap that was made from Sydney Sweeney's bathwater.
It's definitely recommending you and recommending it to you when you type it in Google.
Yeah.
$8 per bar.
Oh no, that's what you can't get it there anymore. Now you've got to go to like eBay and
it's
aftermarket
one of those.
places to get it because they only made like 5,000.
They made 5,000, yeah.
So
Sydney Sweeney's 1 out of 5,000 bathwater soap sold for $1,500.
number one.
Just one of them.
Oh, one of them,
sold
okay.
for, yeah, it's probably more now, but
And do you know what Dr. Squatch said it smelled like?
what?
Morning wood.
Great marketing. Great marketing.
Yeah, smells like morning wood, grit level medium, featuring Sydney's bathwater. So
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, let's see here. If I can find it again. Like $116 on eBay.
Oh, yeah, I mean, good for you if you want that bad.
And that's coming with the certificate of the COA, and
I mean, that has to be okay. I mean, would you ever buy one?
not for that price. Maybe if I could have got it for $8,
Excuse me.
just as a
As a goof,
as a
put on your
collector's
mantle
item.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
you put it on out here in the green room.
yeah. Oh man, that'd get stolen so fast by some weirdo.
Yeah.
We don't know who comes through here. That's funny. That
But,
goes
yeah.
back to the Belle Delphine days of like the original person to sell their bath water. You know what I mean? And then there was this whole which even shouldn't be a dilemma. Why are we talking about soap made out of somebody's bath water? It's insane.
Yeah.
But the dilemma is how do you know that it really was their bath water? How do you know it's just not Sam Squatch's bath water, dude?
Yeah.
The hairy owner of Dr. Squatch just soaking his nutsack in a bathtub, selling it to you in soap.
Jesus.
Some people probably like that smell too, though.
Exactly,
You know?
yeah.
I'm not here to judge anybody. Like I said, do what you want.
But yeah, I just thought that was a little odd that they would.
I mean, when you get back from camping, I mean, what are the best things ever? 1, sleeping in your own bed. 2, taking a shower. If you can boost the level of comfort on the shower,
Yeah.
dude, do it.
That is one thing I do like. When doing the long trips down to Fish Lake, there are some pay showers.
There are, yeah.
You can hit up. So you can go
Yeah.
take, after a few days, you can go down to this place and pay a couple bucks and take a shower.
Get athlete's foot.
Yeah.
Wear sandals.
Pay for athlete's foot. Hey, man, $3 athlete's foot here.
Yeah, just piss on your foot while you're in there.
Gross. You're already in the shower.
Yeah.
What's the worst it's going to do? Make your foot warm?
They say that's supposed to help. Is
It
piss.
does, yeah.
Or you
It's
can just wear
antifungal.
your prison sandals.
Yeah, you piss in those too while you're in there, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, it helps with the waffle stomping too.
Now we're down the road. If Laura was here, she'd be so disappointed in us. Waffle stomping.
But yeah, so
never mind. We're not going down that road any further. I'm dialing back the joke on that.
Okay.
One. Somebody's listening out there like, well, moving on to the next podcast now.
And time for the next topic.
I mean, what type of person do you think buys this soap? Like just people as a gag, or you think there's people out there really like, I need to buy as many bars of this as possible so that I always feel like I'm taking a shower with Sydney Sweeney?
I think there are those. I think it's the majority of both of those. It's going to be either they're buying this as a joke or...
Let's do a hypothetical scenario with both of you, and I'll use me as the example so you guys don't get weird about it. Let's say you came over, and I just casually mentioned to you, you're like, oh man, you kind of smell good. Like, oh yeah, dude, I bought like a case of the Sydney Sweeney bathwater soap. I use it like every morning. It's so awesome. What kind of judgments go through your brain?
I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it'd be weird, right? Like if your buddy's just like, hey, what soap do you use? Sydney Sweeney's bathwater. It's fucking awesome.
I'm like, hey, you bought a case? Hook me up at the bar.
Okay, so then you just jump in the weirdness with me. I respect that. Then I'm just like, hell yeah, one of my homies.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna use it, but I'm like, hey, dude, yeah, hook me up at the bar. I'll put it on display.
True. I just assumed you were gonna use it.
Okay.
So now I'm making myself feel better because I'm putting you on my level. Like,
exactly.
Yeah,
like, here.
Chez is a weirdo too. Dude. And then like you leave after you ask me for one, and I get a phone call from Curt like 2 hours later. He's like, hey man, I think I'll take one of those too.
Yeah. Nah. Stick with my Irish Spring.
That is the classic for everybody over 40. I mean, I use Old Spice, the gel stuff, because I use a loofah. I just make sure to replace your loofahs, please. They get disgusting. You're supposed to do that like every few months, right?
Yeah.
I don't use a loofah. I would just use a washcloth.
You got to exfoliate, but a washcloth will get her done. How long, do we dare ask? How long do you use the same washcloth for?
I change it out.
Did it answer the question? How long?
How long?
Yeah.
I don't know. Once a week.
All right. It's in the shower, right? It's in soap and everything. You got to hang it up, though, right? You can't just leave it as a moist ball in the corner of the shower.
Yeah.
So it get gnarly.
Dry it out properly. And
Yep. Well, maybe if you use Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap, I mean, you just leave it in there, dude. A little extra musk.
Yeah, you're going to be smelling like morning wood all day, but...
At least it doesn't give you morning wood all day.
Who knows? Some people it might.
She is the... are you looking up what she looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Dr. Squatch commercials? She's like the shower genie or whatever.
Yeah, she is the genie. That's funny.
Yeah, so she's been like the spokesman for them for a long time, and then they made the soap with her bathwater.
I'll bet she's nasty.
You tell us. Pull up a picture.
Let me find the worst one.
I bet you... I'd take you up on that challenge. There probably are some bad ones out there, but I doubt even the bad ones are really that bad.
I really didn't even know who she was until I saw her on the commercials. And
she was in that movie that got her popular. She got actually bit by the tarantula or whatever.
What?
That's like when she started getting launched into fame. She did some movie where she had I gotta look it up now, or else.
She actually got bit by a tarantula. That's kind of rare.
Yeah, she did, and they didn't believe her. They thought she was acting as part of the show, and so they didn't cut. And then when they cut, she's like, "No, it was biting me."
She's in Euphoria.
It was some movie with
The White Lotus. I guess she was in The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't remember it. I remember
Eden,
if I
Immaculate,
saw it, right away.
Oh, probably Madam Web.
Nope. I wanted to say it was like some rom-com thing, like Anyone But You or some weird thing like that, but they advertised it really hard. But yeah, that's her. What do you think, Curt? I mean, arguably you just put her shoulders up on there and you're missing other parts that would sway your judgment.
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. That's right.
Well, find some other bathroom genie or shower genie.
I think that he's failing to mention that Sydney Sweeney just isn't Curt's type. I don't think that she's your type.
She's not.
So it doesn't get you going, you know?
Big boob, blonde hair.
I mean, if she came over and she was like, hey, Curt, let's check out your bedroom, what would you say? No?
I'd want to know why she's in my house to begin with.
Because she came to you just like, Ariana Grande would do. So maybe we should name drop people. I don't know. She seems like she'd be fun to hang out with. She's probably kind of high maintenance, though.
So she came to me to see how I live.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, she's like, I just want to see how you live, man.
You want to see my bed? It's in the back.
Just send her back there by herself. It's in the back. Go check it out if that's what you want. She's like winking at you. You're just trying to dodge all of the like. I don't know, man. I think that it comes with some. I mean, I wouldn't say no. Let's not judge. Let's be honest, dude. Nobody would. I don't think anybody would. Oh man. Well, I mean, just I guess that's the perfect way to segue into. We have just released a Curt scented cologne on the Weekly InSalt shop. It's actually pulled straight from his
gray water tank.
Gray water tank. It smells like baked beans and bacon,
Coffee.
and coffee. Oh, that's funny. You know, where do we go from here when you start making things like that? Like, how far down the rabbit hole does it go? Like, when do we draw the line? Like, is somebody going to start blending up or taking out pieces of their underwear and putting it in products and being like, you got a piece of my underwear, dog?
Probably.
Oh, great. And I'm glad I put that out in the world. Don't do that. Let's not do weird Japan things.
As long as we get a cut, who cares?
Yeah, that's fair. I guess when you take it from a business perspective, like, I'm game for anything.
Yeah.
As long as it's like kind of somewhat morally true and it's not going to make me a scumbag. Like, I'll tell you one thing I'll never do. I'll never give you a payday loan. That's scumbag. I don't want that interest, but you know what? I'll let you sell a piece of my underwear.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem with that. You want to buy my underwear? Fine, whatever. I don't care. That's your problem.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, businesses have to make money. That's one of the most important things. Think about the issue that Curt had today, man. He had the pleasure of reading a contract for a bouncy house, and you just got to tell us how that went.
Man, why they continue to do business with this place is it's unbelievable.
Ches, so backstory real quick for people who are new or new listeners or newer. Ches spent years working at a place called Fun Services, no longer around. But you basically did stuff like rented bouncy houses, did like little carnival things, fun things for kids.
Yeah, at one time I was one of only 2 people in the entire state of Utah that was certified to inspect like bounce houses and trackless
because it doesn't
trains.
exist.
So I would never rent a bounce house without somebody delivering it and setting it up and then coming to pick the damn thing up.
100%.
Because first of all,
they're going to charge you a lot more for that.
Sure, but those things weigh like 1,200 pounds.
No.
Well, the big ones. I
No.
don't know, but the one we got today.
I bet it's 300 pounds.
Maybe. Still.
I mean, when I was at Fun Services, our biggest piece was 1,200 pounds, and it was a 30-foot tall slide.
Yeah.
Yep, makes sense.
Giant shark, and basically that thing we kept it on a trailer all the time, and like we'd roll it off. We'd put it roll it off the trailer, set it up, roll it back up, and put it right.
You're
back
looking
on the
at an
trailer.
average weight of a small one being about 100 to 150 pounds to the biggest ones you can get being anywhere from 400 to 1,000 plus pounds. So that's a lot. That's heavy as shit.
Still.
I'd want somebody setting that up for me.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to move around because, I mean, the place we picked it up from, they have these special dollies
Yeah.
that you use to wheel them around on. But, you know, they don't send you with the dolly.
No.
So that's what we did today. We went and picked one up. And I'm like, get this damn thing in the back of my fucking truck and then take it and then back up onto the lawn and dump it off the truck.
Yep.
And hopefully it's in the right orientation.
Well, once you know what you're doing, I mean, it's a little different than, if you know what you're doing, it's a fucking piece of cake.
Sure.
Somebody like you who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. I'd also hope I'm getting paid to know what I'm doing.
But hardly anybody who gets those things don't know what they're doing. Almost everyone.
Oh, no, exactly. And that was the thing when we would do them, we very rarely ever had where you could just come pick it up and go set it up yourself.
But you guys were like doing in your particular business, weren't you doing like more like a bigger business? Like you were doing more parties?
Yeah, more corporate, more.
Yeah. So you're
town celebrations.
So there's a bounce house there, but you're providing a lot of other services.
Yes.
Yeah. This is for like a birthday party.
Yeah, it's a birthday party. So we went and picked this thing up and set it up, and Buddy's reading the contract to me on the way back to his house, and he's like, my God. He's like, if we are 1 minute late, 1 minute is a $25 charge. He's like, and then if we're 10 minutes late, it's a $25 charge on each of the things that are out. Not just certain things, like everything, the bounce house itself, each of the 6 metal stakes,
Crazy.
the extension cord, the blower, the straps, each is a $25 charge.
If you're 10 minutes late.
Yep.
So that's their way of saying, like, better not be 1 minute late, but if you are, $25.
But if you're 10
and it's
minutes
probably
late,
$25 every minute after
it's
the first minute, right?
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're looking at another $600 if you're 10 minutes late.
Yes, you better get that shit back on time. But, I mean, that's why you got to read the fine print. I'm sure that's how they've made so much of their profit, though, you know? Because you probably... you're having a kid's birthday party, and as a parent, you're trying to estimate, like, the time you're going to be there and how long you're going to have it.
Yeah, you got to think about this thing. You set this big slide up, and then you run water through it. Yeah, so all the kids can have a good time. And now you got to dry the thing out.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a slide.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a little different than like a bounce house.
Yeah, sure.
So like to me, the bounce. When you say a bounce house, I'm thinking straight to like
Bouncy
a moon
castle.
a bouncy castle.
Yeah.
So a slide, you're probably 500-600 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know...
Before you get it full of water.
Yeah.
They'll probably charge you a fee if you bring that thing back and it's soaking wet, too, huh? Because now they've got to pull it out and dry it out.
Well, that's the thing is, do they? I mean, they say that.
Yes.
Oh, we'll pull it out and inspect it, and I don't think they do.
Because
when we unrolled this thing, it was dirty as fuck.
Oh, well, was it dry?
It was dry, but it was dirty as fuck.
Yeah. They probably don't, you know, because, like, I mean, they make money off of people being dumb.
Yeah, those things will mildew very fast.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine.
So
PSA from Chez.
Yeah.
Keep your bouncy slide clean.
exactly. Well, I hated it having to deal with the water. You know, most of our like nothing we really ever had was water.
Yeah.
Like there were some times we put water down it, but it's like no, fuck that. It should just gets heavy, and then
it already is heavy, and then you're adding water weight to it, and any water that's trapped in there just makes it even worse. And
that was always the worst. Like when we do events and we'd get rained on, and it's like now we've got a day that we've just got to set everything up and just fucking dry it out.
Just leave it running and check it, and
like it's like set
it all up, tear it all down.
Luckily we had connections with Midvale, so like they'd let us go over to use the park, and or we'd set up stuff and set them up in our parking lot and let them go for a few hours to dry them out, and it was not fun.
I think that would be one of my not favoriteest jobs ever that you did. I'm not envious of you doing it because it just seems like, I guess it's not that bad because it's kind of like stage production in a way. You're really busy at the beginning and the end, but in the middle you're kind of just chilling, right? Unless anything goes wrong.
It was one of those, we were on high alert the entire time. I mean, that's
kids
what
getting hurt and stuff and liabilities.
Yeah. But then, you know, we've got all the other people that come in to help run the event. So then it's just kind of like, okay, we've got our part done now. Now we just kind of have to supervise everything. And then once it's down, then it's go time again and get everything down and back and reloaded for the next day. And
did you go in with him to pay?
It was just in somebody's yard.
Oh, okay. So it was
somebody's
like a
house, and they
random
just
person that bought it and they just rented it out?
No, they have a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
But it was at their house, and they have like some storage units that they contain all the bounce houses in.
I was just looking up like common fees to look out for, and it's like one is if it's returned dirty, you can be charged $200. Some people charge you mandatory cleaning fee. There's damage deposits sometimes. A generator rental if you have to have it out in the middle of nowhere, not around your house or something. Overnight multi-day fees, that's a weather policy. So if you cancel last minute due to rain, some companies will still charge you a cancellation fee. And a staffing fee, of course.
Yeah, it's if you want it, so if you want it staffed, but
if you want it an attendant.
With a guy with a 16-year-old with a whistle, a lifeguard shirt.
Whatever, he didn't use a whistle. He just yelled at the kids.
Get out of there, you little shit.
So,
well, I remember those, but when you're a kid, it was fun for your birthday. But when you get older, you're like, man, I can't believe I put my parents through some of that stuff. But we had like slip and slide. That was just all home injury stuff that you just dealt with, Get it the first year, set it up over the row of sprinklers, hit your knee on it a couple times, and realize you're never setting up your slip and slide there again.
Yeah.
So did it come with instructions on how to take it down?
I don't.
And how to fold it back up and roll it?
I think he got a video to watch on it.
That would make more sense as a video, just so you can see how they did it.
Yeah, the key is the way you drop it to getting it.
Yeah, he'll let it fold down.
Well, we'll give you a call later today when we need your help and have you come on
We need
over.
you to help us take this thing down.
Ches just shows up. We just go drink some beers. Ches is just out there by himself, like, hey, PTSD much?
Yeah.
He's over there with a twitchy eye.
Yeah, I think he's going to have it back tomorrow at 10.
Yeah.
Exactly at 10, not a minute late.
Probably because it's going right back out.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's episode 344, I guess. Unless, Curt, you want to throw some last spice in it?
I kind of do.
Do it.
It might extend this episode a little bit.
That's all right.
Yeah,
we didn't. We have. It's almost been a month.
Exactly.
The people deserve it.
Yeah.
Guess what's for sale?
Your house.
No.
No. I got this. Your body.
Maybe
Your soul.
for the right price.
All right. No. What is it?
Our favorite campsite.
Oh, really?
Yep. GS at Strawberry.
Yeah. No.
You can thank Mike Lee for this. U.S. Senator Mike Lee.
Oh, they're selling the public land.
Yep.
Oh, great.
200 or 30. I just had it.
Well, let's go buy it.
Yeah.
I gotta find my notes here. Here it is.
GS, for everybody listening, means guard station.
Yeah, thanks for announcing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
18.7 million acres of public land for sale in Utah. That includes everything south of Strawberry. That includes everything in Fish Lake.
Yeah, I think that Strawberry is a separate entity around Strawberry Reservoir, but it doesn't go as far south as we camp.
And I've got a map if you want to look at it.
Yeah,
Let's throw that map up.
Let's see. And this is if you're listening, you love going camping, then here's how you're going to be affected. Because if that becomes commercial land, or
all the yellow stuff is BLM land,
okay,
and green is Forest Service land, and all of it is for sale.
Can you scroll in on the map, or?
So there's Strawberry right there. And about right in here is where we are. Oops.
But this is just a proposal, right? Has it gone through?
Hasn't gone through yet, but
Yeah, there's no way that's going to get approved.
why wouldn't it?
Because there's no way that a ton of people are going to sign off on that. Not everybody wants that to happen, you know what I mean? It's just a proposal.
Sure.
But I know that they'll be hearing from me, telling me you're not selling that shit. I love my outdoors. That's the whole reason tourists come to Utah. You can't sell that off to a mining company or some shit.
Well, they're talking about selling it for housing.
Yeah. I don't think that everybody will agree with that either.
Yeah, they're not going to put housing in where we like to go camp, so.
But they're already encroaching on it, that's for sure. I mean, we're not getting any less populated of a planet, that's for sure. I think that it'll be important. The more that stuff like this comes up, the more important it will be to make sure that it doesn't happen. But we're not going to win everything, right? Some stuff's going to be sold.
Here's all of where Fish Lake is.
But I mean, we need to just be clear about the fact that we're looking at a map of Forest Service land.
So you're scrolling in there a little bit on that Fish Lake one.
Like you presented this as this is the land for sale, and it's not. Mm-hmm. This is just BLM and Forest Service land.
No, it is.
It's not for sale.
It says right here. Oh, I lost the...
Oh, these public lands eligible for sale.
Oh, yeah.
So if the proposal goes through, these lands would be eligible for sale. Okay, that makes sense. That's a shitload, dude. That's insane. That's an insane request. You know what he did? This is my theory. He proposed just putting all of this land up for sale, and then over the next few years, they're going to be fighting and whittling this down to what makes sense.
And is that Fish Lake?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
I think that might be Schofield. What does it say?
Congress is making more than 250 million acres of public land available for sale. The most public land up for sale.
Oh, Joe's Valley Reservoir. So yes, that's not where we're going to be camping by Fish Lake.
Total acreage available for sale in Alaska is 82 million. Almost 83 million acres. Utah is 4th from the bottom of the list, or 3rd from the bottom. Nevada's got a lot for sale, but I don't know who's going to buy land in Nevada. There's probably some good land out there that's not just desert.
Oh, yeah. Fish Lake's considerably south of there.
Yeah, it's hard to see on this map because it shows everything. But, I mean, what are the facts? Let's see. Mandates the disposal of between 2 million and 3 million acres of land managed by the BLM and Forest Service across 11 states. To illustrate how much... So this map illustrates how much is at stake of being... or at risk of being disposed of or sold.
Well, hopefully they sell it privately because I'll buy some of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. I'll buy some of it up. This effort in it is in of it and of itself entirely destructive, especially when considered with other provisions in the bill that will make oil lease sales in the Arctic refuge, force construction of a mining road through national parks, and more than double the amount of logging in the western national forests. So yeah, that is going on. That map definitely scares you about what could potentially happen because that's a shitload of land. And I mean, I love being out in the wilderness. But got to get that oral.
I don't think it'll happen, but...
I don't think it'll happen at that level. But I guarantee we will never get away from some sort of public lands being sold. Because as things get bigger, it's just inevitable, you know? It'll just be like... I mean, I don't think we'll ever see Zion's National Park get any of its land sold. But you never know. Some of it might not be necessarily part of the main park or something. Who knows? But if you don't want that to happen, you know, talk to your local leaders. Tell them that you think that's ridiculous and do something about it. Vote for different people, you know. That's how that stuff gets started to change.
Yep.
But what else do you have? Did you have something else?
That was it.
That was it. Well, I mean, we'll just put a fund together and then just buy a big chunk of weekly InSalt land, dude. Put a couple of campgrounds there, make sure that everybody can go.
Yep.
That'd be sick.
Put our own little RV park in.
Yeah, we'll do a bunch of different stuff because I think you'd have to get. It would be sweet to own enough land to have like an established campground like the normal ones you see, where you're kind of on top of each other. Because some families and some like not as avid campers enjoy that. They want to show up to a nice concrete area with a nice picnic table and a fire pit, little barbecue thing, and then they want to pull their trailer in, and that's great camping for them. But then I'd want to have dispersed camping where it's just like dirt, a fire pit. You have enough room to like put 6 or 7 of those around your property, and then like an RV park. Some people like that stuff too. We just have to do it all. And then we'll just put a giant mansion for Curt in the middle with a watchtower like the Eye of Sauron, dude, just watching everybody.
With this
cool
Starlink.
Yeah, and he's got a big spotlight up there that's like 80 million lumens. So if you like are up too late, he can shine it at you.
He's got one of those like remember back in the day when they used to have the searchlights at the movie theaters?
Yeah. Yeah, those giant spotlights up in the air.
We'll have the instead of having the bat signal on it, it's got the Curt signal on it.
Just a big giant C.
Yeah.
Oh shit, he's coming. We got to get out of here. Oh man, we'll see what happens, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, a lot of stuff going on around Salt Lake at the moment. I mean, we didn't even touch on some of the current events that happened, but I don't want to. You know, you guys see the news, you know what's going on, and just stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next one, I guess.
Yep.
All right, I'm not even going to say the tagline. We'll catch you on the next one. Should be our tagline.
Exactly. Yeah.
Change the tagline. Episode 344.
We'll do something different every single time.
Nah, because then Curt won't know the cue.
Yeah.